All right, test number 1. What's up, guys? Lvladen here, and today I'm coming at you with a video on the 9.1 PTR. I never thought we'd be more than halfway through June and I'd still be on the PTR, but here we are. Today I want to go over a new legendary for the Necrolord Covenant for Red Paladin. So this legendary actually finally might push Necrolord over Kyrian. At least in PvP for next patch, and there are several reasons why. The first of being that the damage, it's gonna be catching up to Divine Soul. The defensive options of Necrolord are insane, and a lot of the classes that counter it, like Destrolocks and historically Frost Mages and like maybe Assassination Rogues, are all getting better next patch. So we might need to be looking for more defensive options. Yeah, this character actually, he's a very old copy of my character back from like maybe March or something like that, so I don't even have full gear on this guy. But Blizzard recently unlocked the Renown on the PTR, and we can actually go in there and see all the traits that we can get. Now, I guess I just didn't put in an Endurance or Finesse conduit here, but first thing I'll go over is the Soulbind tree. So the best option for us is going to be Plague Divisor Marileth, and we're gonna go with probably Righteous Might. I'm not entirely sure what the best potency conduits are going to be, but at the moment, like all the other potency conduits I already tested way back in 9.0, like Truth's Wake, until we get a super high Truth's Wake, even higher than the 226 I currently have. It's still not that great. Expurgation, you need a lot of crit. Maybe this is good a little bit later, but for now we're just going to stick with Righteous Might, especially since we're testing out Vanquisher's Hammer. This right here is why Necrolord is so good. In addition to Fleshcraft, the oozes frictionless coating. It's a 15% of your max health shield for 10 seconds every 30 seconds when you're reduced below 50%. That's crazy. Something like this, in my opinion, should probably be like at least a minute cooldown, maybe. I don't know. It's pretty strong. Then we're gonna go with the standard shielding words. These don't really matter. I just go for the durability. Template's Vindication, really good. Again, my conduits, this is an old copy of my character, so my conduits are still really low item level. I'd probably go with Light's Barding right here, because now we can pick up double finesse, so Light's Barding and Echoing Blessing. Take Ultimate Form, you have no choice. So when you finish the channel, you gain 3 seconds of crowd control immunity, and you also regen HP. So this is really good. This makes Fleshcraft really strong for avoiding CC. Virtuous Command. Even though not a huge fan of this conduit, it's still probably our second best potency conduit. So we're going to be taking that. And then I'm going to go to the right side. So we can choose between a slow or while above 80% health, 5% of the damage taken is absorbed and spread out over 5 seconds. This is very similar to an old Unholy Death Knight talent. I'm not sure if they still have it, but I'm just going to stick with it. It's a little bit of damage mitigation. I'll take it. And we're going to go with the Echoing Blessings or Light's Barding, whichever you didn't pick up between these two potency slots. And then finally, Kevin's Oozling. Now, this is a really funny trait where I'll show a little bit later in the video how this works. But whenever you throw your hammer, you summon this little slime, and it is a ranged DPS pet thing. I don't know, you can't kill it. It does almost no damage, but it does increase the damage the target that gets hit by the Vanquisher's Hammer takes by 2%. So it is what it is. It's a little bit damage bonus. So now let's get into the real reason that we're going to swap Necrolord, or possibly going to swap Necrolord, is this legendary right here, Pauldrons of the Duty-Bound Gavel. Vanquisher's Hammer gains 1 additional charge An additional cast of Templar's Verdict will automatically trigger Divine Storm. Okay, so what this does is, as you guys can see down on my bar right next to Avenging Wrath, I have 2 charges of Vanquisher's Hammer. Now, Vanquisher's Hammer itself does not do that much damage, but it will proc a Divine Storm. Now, right now on beta, it is a little buggy, so you can stack this twice. So right now, see how I have 3 charges of Vanquisher's Hammer, but occasionally, for some reason, Templar's Verdict will consume 2 charges of your Vanquisher's Hammer and blast off 2 Divine Storms in one Templar's Verdict. Now, I'm 90% sure this is a bug and not intended because there's no real way to replicate this, but it is possible to have one Templar's Verdict deal 2 Divine Storms. Now, this damage, I'm going to show you an example on a player in a little bit. It is not as high in the 1 global cooldown burst as Kyrian, but overall, you can actually deal more damage in like a 3 to 4 GCD range than you can with a Divine Toll on a single target. I know it's kind of hard to believe, but you can actually pump some insane numbers with Vanquisher's Hammer. I'll go ahead and show you an example right now. Alright, we're going to start by getting some Holy Power right here. We get our Seraphim up. We're going to Wings, get some Holy Power again, Vanquisher's Hammer into a Final Reckoning, Templars, Judge, Templars, Vanquisher's Hammer, Wake of Ashes, Templars, and then 1 more. So 4 Templars, gigantic burst, absolutely insane. Let's see some of the numbers that we're hitting. Keep in mind, it is AoE. You're going to be cleaving on the people in melee cleaves and stuff like, you know, rated battlegrounds. This is going to be crazy. Combat log. What do we have here? Templar's Verdict. Ooh, Virtuous Command still pumping some damage. Okay, so our Wake of Ashes. Let's go above our Wake of Ashes. Templar's Verdict hitting the PvP dummy for about 14k non-crits, with Divine Storm on the PvP dummy for 7.5k roughly. Not bad. So like 20k in 1 global is huge. Another almost 15k right here with a let's see right here, 7.5k non-crit Divine Storm, and all these other training dummies are getting hit for like 10k, but keep in mind, on the PvP training dummy, it does take into account the nerfs to your Final Reckoning. So in PvP, I believe it's only a 30% damage increase rather than a 50% damage increase. So the other dummies are getting hit a little bit harder than a player would. So yeah, guys, insane burst. Maybe not as high in the top end, but over the course of like, you know, 4 GCDs, we are going to be doing a little bit more damage. And in trading that extra top-end damage from Kyrian, we are gaining significant defensive buffs with Ooze's Frictionless Coating, with maneuvers right here, Fleshcraft. And one more thing I forgot to mention when talking about the new legendary right here is its synergy with the new revamped PvP talent Jurisdiction. So the radius of Divine Storm is increased by 40 yards. Now, I'll make a whole other video about all the red PvP talent changes because 9.1 did just get announced for the 29th. However, right here, this talent in particular synergizes really well with Vanquisher's Hammer, giving Divine Storm an extra 4 yards. Let me see how far away I can actually be in order to trigger this Divine Storm. Over here. Okay, not that far. Okay, right about here. I back up a little bit more. Yep, so right here. We are so far away. Let's take a look if I can even press a Final Verdict. We can't even press a Final Verdict from this distance on the dummy. But we can hit it with a Divine Storm. That's a pretty large radius when talking about ranged attacks that's supposed to be melee, or I'm sorry, melee attacks that are supposed to be melee distance. Literally turns Divine Storm into a longer range than Final Verdict. That's nuts. I love that. It's like WoD Paladin all over again. Alright, let's back to the legendary. So for the rest of the video, I'm just going to show just some example clips. I was doing some testing out in front of Soulmoon with a friend. Unfortunately, I sat in like a 20-minute skirm queue. I could not get a skirm to pop. I couldn't really find people to duel. Anyone who's on the beta right now doesn't really have, I'm sorry, not the beta, the PTR, doesn't really have gear. They're all just testing like random abilities, I guess, changes to their class, but they're not necessarily geared to duel. Alright guys, enjoy these clips. Alright, we're gonna test the no wings burst. Okay, it's kind of insane. Alright, for this example, I'm just going to have my friend get in bear form. He's going to press Frenzy Regen. Get enough rage right here. Alright, we're going to send the go now. Hey, does a lot of damage, a lot of consistent damage. We still have one more charge of Vanquisher's Hammer. Not bad. Alright, we're just gonna test Kevin's Oozling real quick, see how the damage is on the going human form. Alright, go. Go, Kevin, go! Okay, so it's a ranged damage dealer. 350, 360, 360. 360. And then we can send one more Kevin. Oh, there we go, Kevin. It does not do that much damage. But, at the same time, while Kevin is active, we're doing 2% more damage to the target. Apparently, he grants us a teeny shield. So, not bad. And we can have him up quite frequently, to be honest. Like, he's just always up whenever we press our Vanquisher's Hammer. Again, right now. I like him. Funny. Alright, so apparently he does benefit a little bit from popping your cooldowns. As you can see, the damage is a bit higher, but it's so insignificant at that point. Only like maybe 1800 extra damage. Not that great. So that's about it for this video on Necrolord and the updates that it is getting in the 9.1 patch. I am super excited to give it a real test in live. One of my rets will definitely go Necrolord. Not sure if I'm going to insta-switch my main, just because I'm going to have to grind out the Soul Ash. Obviously, I want my 2100 ASAP for the gear. You're going to have to grind the Renown as well. So there's a handful of grinds that will go into switching a fresh Necrolord ret. If you've worked at it a little bit in 9.0.5 and kind of gone back and forth, and you're at an advantage, the patch comes out in 2 weeks, so you have the time to swap, go right back to Necrolord, and get ready to enjoy this new legendary. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of it. I'm a huge fan of Fleshcraft. I'm a huge fan of Frictionless Oozing, and our little buddy Kevin that we get. We're not going to have Kevin for a long time. I think this is like rank 55 we get it, and I think we start around 40. So it's going to be a little while since we see Kevin, or until we see Kevin, but the first potency slot comes, I think, week 1, right? Pretty sure we can get 3 renown the first week. A quest, the Maw, and what was the other one? Collecting Anima. So yeah, I'm super excited to get back into Shadowlands. It's just, guys, 7 months, something like that. 7 months, that's a long time to not have any content, any new content. So I did burn myself out. Even on YouTube, I burned myself out. Yeah, new 9.1 content coming on the way. New TBC content. It's looking up for WoW now that we at least have a patch announcement. It's funny because in the beginning of recording this video, there was no announcement. And then about halfway through recording this video, I saw the 9.1 announcement. So I'm very excited now. Very hyped. Anyways, feel free to follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/LvladenPvP. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.